You don't even drink coffee.
Oh, yeah, like a milkshake or...
Oh, you get a milkshake. Oh.
You don't want to say milkshake, mate.
This includes venues as well, so when you go out, get that rig out before you get kicked out. That's something I live by.
Because I know we'd go to horse camps and you'd meet everyone and then everyone you want to keep in touch with. You'd get on MSN and then...
You want to readdress that?
What?
What kind of camps are you going on?
Anyway, week of a lifetime. It was absolutely massive. I was all over the place, driving hours and
Didn't you
hours
just
a
do
day.
your weekly update?
Well, that was not it. Wow. Unbelievable the content we could possibly start these pods with that can never hear the light of day. We have just been laughing about like the most absurd, let's just say, way to start a pod. It'd be so good, but we just can't do it. So we're going to give you the B grade stuff as usual.
As usual, because B grade audience gets the B grade intro.
Exactly. Until you really start turning out and telling your friends, we're going to keep it. We're not going to give you the good stuff yet. But in the meantime, I think we should sort out some personal disagreements and beef, perhaps a feud between your illustrious co-hosts here. Dos and I, I'm not seeing eye to eye with you on this pod at the moment, my brother.
Not for a while. I feel like I've been carrying. I know I'm the CEO of this illustrious podcast company.
Right. And you see 100% of the royalties. I don't see any. So keep going. Just keep that in mind, everyone.
But I still expect equal work. Man, it's equality, man. I still expect you to do half the work for half the pay.
Yeah. What is my title even? Do I, if you're CEO, am I like, I'm not CFO, I'm not COO,
you can be, I don't know, like maybe HR.
I'm probably HR. Yeah. I think I am. Because I'm always like talking to you and Das on 101 first dates and being like, hey, don't say that stuff, you know. You can't say that. So yeah, maybe I am HR. Yeah, and I have the personality of someone that's in HR, respectfully, to all my HR listeners who are many and varied, to be sure.
Yeah, and I reckon Das on 101 first dates and obviously producer Jazz, they're probably like the salespeople because, you know, as soon as a company, if it starts going down, they're the first you just want to cut off. First to go.
Yeah. But people are probably wondering, like, what's the drama? What's the beef? Dan and Dawson Pross fighting?
Who would have thought?
No, can't be. He was his best man just a few weeks ago.
Carried the wedding, some would say.
We have, and our relationship has been on pretty, tough terms for a number of years now since we've started podcasting because I'm often accused of not showing up with the right, enthusiasm, public support of the pod. Dos, is that what you would say is my great flaw, my great undoing?
Yeah, I'd say a lot of like the promotional tools. Obviously, we have, the Instagram, trust.us.network. And
nice. You're so proud of that as well.
I know, I was like, please give it to me.
Your eyes sparkled.
And the big question is like, are you willing to push it on your personals as well, your personal socials? And that's the hardest part. And I'm happy to. I love it. I live and breathe it. And I cop it. I absolutely cop it as well for everything I post. So, it's not like...
You're Juzzy, your producer as well. Producer Juzz from 101. She's quite active as well, promoting it. She's new to the team as well. One of your new hires.
Yeah. I think even before she was on it, she'd still be posting stuff, which definitely appreciate.
That's how you make your way up the ladder.
There's one host in the Trust Us network that doesn't seem to see any of the reels on the light of day on their personal socials.
Honestly, the fact that when I open up my Trusty Dusty Instagram here, the fact that Trust Us gets a whole tile right there, you can't see it's a bit wide. It has every time I see that, I go,
all right.
because I've been walking the streets. I'm one of the people still. We're still one of the 99%. Is that what we are? Is that what we call ourselves? The 99%?
Yeah. You did make season 2. You did make a big play to be part of the 1%, though. So it's interesting.
Yeah, no. And then I had to do all these last minute renos for the wedding. I got married. I'm back with you plebs. To be honest with you, I'm one of the people again walking the streets. Celebrating 50 cent public transport, which is another story. Actually, I'm pretty stoked about that. Happy to take on any knockers of 50 cent public transport in Queensland. But people say, people go, oh, I tell them about our wedding and my best man, respect where it's due, absolutely performed, delivered. One full week of just showing up and delivering. Credit where it's due. And they go, "Oh, so you're the one that you do the podcast with?" And I go, "Oh." I'm always like, "Oh God, you're listening. It's exciting." I don't get me wrong. I'm like, "Oh, cool. I can't wait to tell Dos." But for me, it's like, "Oh wow, I'm not promoting it to you, and I'm not promoting it on my story." And whenever I share something in my life that's good and happy and pure on my story, Dos is always first person to comment. "Oh, you'd share this bull crap, this boring stuff, and you wouldn't share the latest reel." I'm like, man, this is a good moment for me. That's my wedding picture. Like, don't make it about the pod. Like, every time, he's my biggest hater.
Everyone knows pod comes first. Business, man. It's a business post that you need to be putting out there.
Yeah. So I am going to endeavor to consider sharing content soon. And that I feel like that's my olive branch to you. Olive branch to you. Okay. Is that I will consider the prospect of at some point sharing our content. What do you say? Are we good again? Yeah,
I think that keeps you in the good books. I think
it's a big step forward.
Yeah, it's a start. I know, like, one thing I do want to bring out though is, like, obviously with the analytics of where the podcast is and stuff, I can see where people are listening to some extent. And I do have to shout out Boardman. It's a town in the
Boardman.
Yeah.
I love that. Boardman is like the perfect. That's a good name for the pod. Boardman or Boardmen.
Well, yeah. So it's a town in Oregon in the USA, and they are one of our most active listeners because I don't think they've missed an episode.
Go Ducks! Go Ducks! I think they had the Oregon Ducks, the college team.
Ooh,
let me just Google this real quick. Sorry, mate. Oregon Ducks.
But yeah, I feel like
the University of Oregon Ducks.
Oof, good call. Look at that. You are an active follower of the Ducks, just like they're an active follower of us.
They're going to love that I said that. Our listenership there is going to go crazy. Go Ducks.
Yeah. So I know we chat a lot of shit about our audience, and I just want to clarify, it's not Boardman. That town.
No, I've never.
You're the upper echelon.
The 1% of the listeners. You're the 1% of the 99%. Yeah, no, I've never actually even thought about including Boardman in any slander I've said of our listeners. So I'm completely with you. Yeah. Oh, that's touching. I think this is a beautiful start to the pod, Dos. What's going on in your life? Bring the good vibes.
Yeah, I got some good vibes. I shot up to the Gold Coast, which probably isn't the good vibe territory of Australia.
Yeah. Okay, good. At least your story is starting from its lowest possible point. Obviously, our Gold Coast listeners. Actually, I hate them.
So got up there, and I ain't gonna lie, man. Since your wedding, coming back to obviously 30 degrees up there, coming back to Melbourne, it hasn't even been that cold. It's actually been like 16 or so, and like I'm just feeling it in my soul, like it's hurting me. And I get up to the Gold Coast and bang, it's 24 degrees again, and I'm like, oh, this is for the first time in my life. I've always been an avid, cold man, happy to love the winters, because you want to be cold.
A Queensland hater, I would even think is safe to say. Someone that I love Queensland. Someone, again, it's just you're more than happy to just go out on a limb and slander Queensland whenever you possibly can, which is crazy considering everything it's done for you. But anyway, whatever.
Yeah, and I've never understood the appeal to get up there to the warmth. And mate, winter hasn't even started, and I see it now. For the first time in my life, I see it. I was up there and I was like, shit, being up there in this all winter, I could live with that. I could actually live with that.
It is pretty special. It is pretty crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Winter just started this week in Longreach, and it's still t-shirt and shorts weather in the middle of the day. Like it gets cold in the mornings by our standards, cold at nights. But in the mornings and nights, you want to be rugged up anyway. But during the day, you're flat out wearing anything with long sleeves. I say wearing long sleeves because it's cold. But
yes, it's sun safe, nice. Mate. You just got to slip slap,
or
sleeves. Union rules. We do abide by the union rules here.
Thanks. Good.
Yeah, but the other week I was actually I was at a comedy like pub crawl.
Love it. A comedy pub crawl.
Yeah,
to
pretty good
different
concept.
comedy venues.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I had a few boys in there, last minute sort of decision. Oh, just one of those goodies, we just like, yeah, I'm in. And then we just pull up, and I pull up, I'm a beer behind the boys, and they've already got a system in play, right? So we go up to every bar we went to, straight away they'd be like, oh, can we have your second cheapest beer? So it's like, they don't want to look cheap. Grabbing the cheapest beer.
Yeah.
So every time we'd get the second cheapest beer, which I thought was a very interesting concept. I'm like, I don't mind it. I think that's like, that's got my approval, that's got my sesh approval. I'm 100% about it.
The venues probably think like, oh, we'll just get some piss for the cheapest beer. And then everything above that's probably reasonable. So the second cheapest beer is probably at the lowest level of beers that taste good to drink. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. So yeah, that was.
This is wisdom. I mean, I'm learning something here. This is good.
And like the second, sometimes at some venues, that second cheapest beer could actually be an expensive beer. So like, you might look fancy with it. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. The gig itself, bit hit and miss. I think comedians.
Oh, massively. But was it still funny or fun? Even when it's like what? Like, that's it? That's the
Some
joke?
of it was like, one of the Sheilas just was bombing hard. And it's hard because once you've lost the crowd, you've lost them. There's no coming back.
I've seen comedians get nasty, like not even a funny nasty. When they know they've lost the crowd, they will attack someone in the crowd. Like the person they've been using as like an example. Yeah. Oh man, terrible things. Like not funny, but just like trying to prove while I've got the mic that this person here is actually a bigger loser than me right now. And I'm bombing. So it's like, this is the biggest loser in the room.
They can go home and just actually be able to get to sleep, which is, it's nice for them. But yeah, I think, oh God, I completely forgot my last train of thought. Oh no, we did have a rule. Every venue we went to, we just sat in the front row every time.
Whoa, yes.
Four of us boys, right? So two of us are like, 6'4". Other bloke was probably touching 6 foot, and then we had our little friend.
Listen to the plug. Disgusting.
So, yeah, true. Yeah, sorry about that. No, I'm not
6'4", genetically
6'4".
like
massive. Pushing 100
good personality.
Kilos, yeah. Good hair.
Feminist.
Feminist. I used to have a hairline at some stage.
Your hairline's good. Don't.
It's all right.
Actually, no, you are getting a bit like me, actually.
Yeah, it's hanging on though. As long as you can man bun, as long as you got a bun, it covers that.
Okay, keep going.
Anyway, so we had one of the boys in there, and he's sort of short king, and he's also bald,
handsome rooster. Oh, come on,
nicest bloke in the world too.
Yeah, I know.
Built, shredded.
He's the mold from which short kings should be made. Has 100%. Everything else going for him.
Yeah.
Just isn't over 6 foot. Everything else seems like a star.
And obviously he was a redhead and then he went bald. So that was an interesting little, God just throwing more at the poor bloke. And it was funny because every single comedian picked on him. And a lot of the time it was the other of us because we sort of had games where we'd heckle comedians sometimes if we lost a bet or something. So one of us other boys would heckle and he'd get yelled at by the comedian would roast him instead of the person that said it.
It was amazing. That is amazing, man. Oh man, that hurts, man. I wish I was there.
5 from 5. 5 comedians, 5 roastings. It was wild. I couldn't believe it. And we're going into the last one and we're like, surely we can't get the full set.
Wow. So, okay, just really quickly, just to get this clear to me, as someone that will never go on a comedy pub crawl in Longreach, there was comedy on at all these venues?
Yeah, so there's sort of it's interesting. They have multiple. So obviously it was a comedy festival in Melbourne. So comedy.
Oh, we'll say no more, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's just a comedian just grabs a bunch of people and then probably 50, 60. And then you just go to different venues. Yeah. And he just takes you probably only 20, 30-minute sets, probably 20-minute sets. Or maybe 30.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool. It's a cool concept.
I think that's cool. I love comedy. Love it. I'm so that's enough for me. But the fact that you were in the front row, which again, then you becoming a part of the experience most of the time. And then just the extra element of the heckle game and the backfire. I'm telling you, that's a good night. Well done. Fair play.
Comedians are the one person that they intimidate me. Like they came at me a couple of times and I was like, I'm so scared. They've got my number.
What new defect are they going to make me aware of? And in a way that makes everyone back them as well.
Yeah, and you know what guys are like? You know, if a guy says to you like, "Oh man, I like that shirt," you know, he'll wear it once a week for the rest of his life. Like,
he'll be buried in it probably.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Yeah. If someone calls out a feature that you're not aware of, that you're not self-conscious of at all, like they're like, "Oh, you got a bald spot in your beard or something." You're like, "What?" And then you look at that every day for the rest of your
life. That's good. Hey, man, I got FOMO, dude. Well done. Well, fair play. Fair play.
No, fair enough. I do my bit for the team.
Yeah. Look, speaking of FOMO, I'll be honest with you, and this is actually a pretty sweet segue if I do say so myself. I can see where it's going as I say it.
You can't say that before you segue it.
No, I actually think when it's
anticlimax. It's like kissing someone and then just be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck you." It's like way too early, man. Like, come on.
I don't know. That confidence, you know. Admittedly, now I was happy with how much I was going to put into pumping it up before saying it, and now it's out of
Follow
hand.
that.
Now it sucks. I mean, all I'm going to say is I had FOMO of not hanging out with my boys every single day of my life, which is the goal. I mean, I think that's the goal. Like as of the last, I don't know, maybe the last few weeks, I've thought about what is the most marginally profitable business I can get in with my boys, my friends, and my girls as well. You know, well, I only have one girl. Let's face it.
Like you just married it.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, Juzzy's technically a girl, so you know, she would be someone I could hang out with as well. Max as well. Shout outs. And all the ladies of Boardman, Oregon. No, that's getting a bit too salacious for me. They're beautiful women as well, so I would not want to, to be around them. But
whereas
I think about
on the other hand, let's go Boardman Ducks.
No, Oregon Ducks, not the Boardman Ducks. Come on. Anyway, wouldn't it be fun just to have a business? Okay, I'm just thinking this is basic. I'll be honest with you, but let's just go start basic. And maybe I should save this for the actual pod, but I just want to work with my friends in a job that just makes enough money for all of us to live, but every single day we're hanging out. Doesn't that seem like utopia?
That sounds pretty chill. I think I'd be about it. You know, especially if you're getting paid for it.
If you're getting paid enough to cover all your expenses and then to have just enough left to do fun stuff, like to splash out. You know, you don't want to be like really paycheck to paycheck, but only a little bit more than paycheck to paycheck. But anyway, I've been watching this show. It's Shane Gillis's new Netflix TV show. It's called Tires, and it follows a bunch of, like, I guess you could call them friends that have a tire shop. And just watching that and seeing that they're not super financially, stable, but it looks fun. You know, they're just hanging out. For example, you're the CEO of this podcast company, so it's like one of them is just arbitrarily the manager or the boss. Maybe they're the son of the owner or whatever, but and everyone else just does their job, does their bit. I don't know. It sounds good to me. Got me really reminiscent on like a life I don't have.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of had that a little bit in the job I had at uni. It was literally us boys just working for an event company, just weekend gigs. And like, even now, like our mate, who wasn't our mate at the time, who was the boss, owned the show. We all literally slowly filtered in until we were the entire workforce.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it was sick because like, even now, like he sold the company years ago. And we still all play poker together. You know, we still all catch up and, you know, it's just.
That's real, man. That's good. Because it just, that prospect of, and it's also like why when I think about going to, if I just would drop it all and do a trade, it's like I'd only want to do a trade if my mate was the owner of the small trade business, whatever, because I want to be a part of the unit.
Yeah,
you know?
the mateship.
That's the fun for me. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you want to be a Sparky? Like, what do you love about being a Sparky? Oh, my mate owns the business. And I know that he's hired like chill dudes to like spend the day with, you know? They get the job done, high standard, good value, best prices, best work. It's just the vibe. It's the culture.
Oh, mate, imagine if this podcast was our full-time job. Just
That's
saying,
what I'm talking
sponsors.
about, mate.
Sponsors, where you at? Where you at?
That's what I'm talking about, man. Anyway, Road Guide to Business. Let's go.
Let's get it. Man, I got a degree in business. I studied this. I completely forgot until you said business. I was like, oh, wait, I did that at uni.
This is the most qualified we've been for any topic.
Finally.
You are recognized officially. Oh my goodness, this is great. So yes, business advice from someone who has no business experience and someone who is probably one of the most academically enlightened businessmen of his generation.
Shit, mate, I'm the adult this episode. Oh, this is exciting.
All right.
Love it.
Step one, and we've established it here, hopefully, decide on your business partners. Me, when I'm picturing it, and I don't want to exclude anyone, so I'm just going to keep it pretty niche. Let's just say I want to exclude everyone but you, just so we're not hurting people's feelings, because a lot of people think they're our best friends.
I hurt.
No, you're the guy. You're it.
Oh,
Let's just say
shit.
I want to do a business with you. Let's just say, I think about, yeah, wouldn't it be fun to just chat, smack, DOS all day, get the jobs done? I know that we can handle each other because of holidaying together.
Yeah. Oof, yeah.
Which is all I need to know. We're business partners here. I mean, even though you consider me an employee of the corporation,
Volunteer.
Have I not proven I can be a good employee though? Kind of.
Yeah, you're true.
I won't go above and beyond, but you need to pay me to reach that level. Anyway.
To go beyond. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like you look at obviously you look at your friend network, and I think there's different roles for different people.
Yeah.
There's certain people that you'd want involved in the decision making process, and then there's other people you just want as an investor. You know, like my wet wipe mates. I don't want them involved in the decision. Well, sometimes maybe because I could just tell them what I want and they'll just do it. But like, I think if you want to be successful, I want a couple of my mates that we butt heads every now and again. And I'm like, that's probably what I want because I'm not always right. And then so if someone's going to call me out, I'd prefer it to be them because I also trust them when they do call me out.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rare. It's a finite amount of people in that category. But
if I could just say, I think that our business dynamic, I'm probably a little bit more of the conservative, like, hey, let's not, whoa. Yeah, let's not do that. Whereas you are kind of the dreamer. You're kind of the like big ideas.
100%.
And a lot of them, dog shit. But some of them, that's the whole reason why we'll be successful. Those ideas. And I'm happily just going to be chopping them down. Oh,
I say aim for the stars and we settle on the moon.
Beautiful. Cue Kanye West. Shoot for the moon and fall among the stars or the clouds or whatever.
Wait, are we in Paris?
So that's step one.
Okay.
Step one. Let's just say for this argument, we've decided on we'll be business partners together. Go to step two.
Yeah. Decide on what type of business. What's our what are we good at? What are we sort of...
We have varying beliefs on this. Let's scratch the podcast game because that's already a reality for us. Yeah. We've already sort of reached the successful metrics for that. I'm thinking, so what do you think? What business do you think, like, hang on, with my boys, with my squad, this is what I want to do?
Yeah. I think, it needs to be something we can be hands off on. So you know how, like, you just let it run?
You've lost me.
Oh, but mate, hold up. I'm thinking logistically as well. We live 2 states away from each other.
No,
so
we're not.
I was sort of...
Yeah, keep going, mate. Keep going.
Yeah. My theory would be... Dreamberg. Oh, okay. Well, you're moving down here, big boy.
No, I don't think that's the warmth. You move up here. Keep going.
So, like, if we're not in a practical setting together, I'd say if we had, like, some sort of e-commerce business and then we could just throw flights all onto that. And you can sell anything online. So.
Oh, man, this is so bad. I'm not liking this at all. This is not going to work. This isn't going to work. Keep going. Is that your idea? I mean, I don't.
Well, my idea.
Don't get into your idea. Don't get into your patented idea.
Because there is one. I'm like, I don't want to touch it yet. I'm working on it. But actually, my idea as a kid was always have like 3 mates and do 3 different trades. So you can literally just go and build a house. So you have a spark,
Right.
you have a plumber, you have a carpenter, and you all just build a house.
You know, we're close. You'd be a
Yeah.
carpenter, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd be the plumber, so I'd have to be the.
No, whoa. Oh, that's right. The Sparky's taken.
Yeah, I know. He's like our other mate has got the fucking best gig, so it's sort of like
I would be the plumber.
I'd want to be the Sparky.
Only because, just like I said before, why would you want to be a plumber? I've got a mate in town.
Boys.
He's sick. I'd work for him. I would be his apprentice.
But
Simple
also
as that.
remember, if I'm getting in the construction business, we're only doing new builds because they are fucking a piece of piss. So I think like being a plumber would actually be sweet.
We are compatible, dude.
Why
I
would
like
you,
it.
Have you done a Reddit? Oh wait, you are doing a Reddit.
Yes, and it sucks. You know,
Yeah,
it's
but-
nothing works. If you
But it's your
if you
house,
try to
so
put
it's
new
exciting.
materials in here,
Mm.
it wouldn't work. It can't work. They need to be bowed so that it melts into the walls. No, I hear what you're saying, and like I said,
Yeah.
all we need to do when we're discussing this idea, we need to just meet 66% of the way or something.
Yeah.
Like I can agree with getting the boys together, different trades, starting a business. That's enough for me to work with, and we can go from there. Whether it's new builds or renos, whatever, we can sort that out.
Renos
That's
are
good.
only good if it's your house. Because imagine doing all the the little shit for a house that you don't give a shit about. Like,
Yeah. I think that I would want to care about the house though. I'd want, if I was working on my house, for example, or another Queenslander or a 100-year-old house, I know in me, I care about it enough. I see them we drive slow past Queenslanders, beautiful Queenslanders, old ones that aren't all built in and whatever. And we go, and I could take passion and pride in that house.
I don't know what you call
Shut
business
up.
ick, but I'm feeling it right now.
Oh no, I'm gonna end up in the real business ick 1. Dan's ideas.
Dan's ideas. Just, I don't know. I want passion in the business. I agree, but the passion is in the boys, mate. It's us working together.
Okay.
Keep your feelings away from the house. They're objects to us, mate.
Fine. I appreciate that. And like I said, we could discuss this in the 4 years that we're becoming apprentices, doing the apprenticeship. For me, I picture, again, it could be anything, but let's just say a cafe, or if I could go a little bit more out back and say a pub.
Yeah.
It is incredibly hands-on. We are in there every day. Me, you, and a couple other friends. We're in there. One of us is on the till. One of us is the barista, and they're like they got the skills and the charisma, blah blah. The person on the till again, charisma again, but more of a front-facing person that's going to be friendly. I think charisma.
Should we call it the Charisma Calf?
No, it's taken now. Like with all this rizzing, with all the kids rizzing around the place, charisma's taken.
Charisma's not cool anymore. You got to riz.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're like, charisma, ick. Business ick number 2. Not saying
They probably
riz, saying
serve
charisma.
like normal milk.
Yeah. So millennial of them. But yeah, something like that where we're in the business, someone's in the back office doing all of the stock, and we're always interacting all day. And it's like, it gets quiet because guess what? And this brings me to step 3. Deciding how ambitious you are in scale. It's not the most successful business. It's fine.
We're actually all out of pocket.
No.
Significantly.
Yeah. Somehow we've conned ourselves into paying for each other's company and the company of customers that hate us and our products. So no. It's profitable to the extent where everything's taken care of in the pub or the cafe. Pub. I'm going to say pub from now on. All our bills are paid. All our wages are paid to a decent standard where we don't just scrape by, but we have enough money to go and get dinner quite often, or we have enough money to fly somewhere because we're all living in Longreach or Stonehenge or something, which is part of the plan as well. But I don't want to be, unless it's easy and it comes naturally, all I really want is for us to have like some remotely competitive, interesting venture where we're hanging out. People come in and they probably like our vibe. The vibe's good. Customer service is a lost art. When you get somewhere that makes you feel good to go, huge for me. Huge. I will actively not go somewhere where the person isn't like, Dan, you probably want this. And I go, yes, most of the time. Sometimes no, but thanks for remembering. I want this.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I don't need it to be that big. It can be in a competitive market, but as long as we're getting our piece of the cake. Success.
Just on that, it actually stresses me out when the barista knows what order, because I'm like, I can never change. Because there'll be days when I'm
What?
like, yeah, so there'll be like days when I'm like, no, like, you can't. Like, well, like, more specifically, like coffee order. So, like, obviously, so I'll get like a skinny latte. But then some days I'm like,
Oh, that is. Are you serious? Was that an example, or do you really get skinny lattes?
I'm trying to be a skinny boy.
What happened
so.
to you, man?
What do you mean? I just got bored of the
Dude,
same
you're so
latte.
Melbourne. The Boardman listeners right now are saying skinny latte. This Aussie. Oh,
Mate, you
that's
have to in
cringe.
Melbourne. You have to have some kind of quirky order. Like,
That sucks,
and
man.
I've only just recently gone the skinnies. I used to just obviously get a latte,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to be a bit more
Even
fun.
latte, you're a latte sipper through and through. That's what you
Yeah.
guys get called, latte sippers.
Well, I
And
started.
you are a latte sipper, a skinny latte sipper.
I started. This is my
man.
progression. This is my progression to the cafe. I think every time as a kid, especially a boy, you just have whatever coffee your mum has. And mum was always
Yeah.
cappuccino, so I always had a cappuccino. And then
That's,
I
that's
used to have-
true.
yeah,
All
I have-
mums must have drunk cappuccinos.
I think you reach a point in life where you just want cappuccinos. Like, I don't know if it's well, it can't be 30, but maybe it's 40 or 50 where you're like, I just want a cappuccino. And the little chocolate sprinkles.
40. I think it's 40. I think 40 hits.
Yeah. that
Again, at
sounds
least
like
from that
cappuccino
generation.
age.
And I think if
I
you're
actually-
listening right now and you can go, yep, cappuccino, mum was on the cuppers. Yep.
Yeah. So what do you say? Are you saying a flat white is more creative than a latte?
This creative thing you're going for, it's besides the point. I'm not trying to be creative. I would say that if someone came in
You don't
and they
understand
said,
what it's like in the trenches in Melbourne of the coffee shops, man. You can't be walking in there and being a basic bitch and be like, can I just get a latte? Like, they'll be like, sorry, what? Can you wait at the back of the line again and think again?
Road guide ordering coffee in Melbourne because I just want to hear this stupid culture that you've developed. It's terrible. It hurts me to hear that you behave like this. I thought you were so cool. And you're just one of these guys.
Obviously, Frost, you're a big milkshake man. This,
I this morning had a coffee frappe, and that's a cool
like
order.
yeah.
Very sugary, very good. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I get hungover, like I do not want a coffee. I want a milkshake when I go for brunch on the Sundays. And mate, I kid you not, you can't even get milkshakes at cafes now in certain suburbs of Melbourne. So like obviously Fitzroy's a very vibey, fresh joint. You can't get a goddamn milkshake. First cafe, they were like, nah, sorry, we don't do milkshake. I was like, okay, weird. And then I went to the cafe next door, which is also banging and like one of the most top rated. Again, no
Dude, this is so
milkshakes.
true. This
I
is
was
true.
like,
This
what?
was true when I was in Melbourne.
Oh,
I couldn't get
mate.
milkshakes. I couldn't.
I was like, what are the kids drinking? Are the kids just drinking coffees as well? Like,
Dude, they are. And they're having nicotine for like breakfast, vapes or
having
whatever.
babycinos.
Oh, dude, yeah, literally, they're on the baby chinos. They're in the pipeline. Maybe they're even
Yeah.
on the cappuccinos now. They're early. They're like ahead of
True,
the
mums are
curve.
starting them early.
Oh, dude, that is so true. How does Darcy survive? Darcy still doesn't really drink coffee, does he?
Yeah, he's a milkshake boy.
I think he must be
actually
having a hard
doesn't-
time. Check in on him. Check in on him, dude.
That's very true. And like
Next 101 first dates pod. Just check in on him. Check
he
in on
used
him.
to do a lot of Brisbane coffee dates up there. Obviously, all these stories on the pod involved coffee dates. But he'd get milkshakes up north. But
Weird.
I don't think he's ever been on a coffee date down here.
He knows. He knows he's going to go there and be like, decaf or something. I don't know. What has he got
Oh,
caffeine
he
in
started getting mockers, actually. Melbourne is slowly infecting him.
it? Mocha. Fine. Good order. It's this latte, skinny latte stuff, man. I'm just not feeling it.
I'm off you. A mocha is better than a latte.
Mocha.
Yeah.
Oh, I would get a mocha. It's a cool order.
Cool.
Hang on. Were we talking about... were we on the podcast or were we talking about... Like,
What day is it?
Look, okay, step 3. So ambitiousness and scale.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
want to hear what... Do you agree? Or would you be happy to settle for like moderate success with the bros?
Yeah, with the With the bros, yeah. Obviously, it's hard because I'm the dreamer, and you guys are dragging me back or holding me back. But if
Yeah,
it's a
you can
physical
bet. I'm thinking about scaling up. I'm like, oh, I'm not really going to be in those other stores with the boys, so I don't really care about it.
Whereas I'm like franchise. We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
franchise this Riz Cafe.
The restaurant.
Yeah. Ooh, oh shit, we're cooking. We're not even going to be able to like release this episode because there's going to be too much good stuff on it.
That's patented.
It's patent.
I said in the time between now and this being posted, we've patented it, so don't even try.
Yeah. Well, I guess step 4, even if you're just trying to, break even or be $10 down every week, you still got to decide on what makes you marketable. What's the niche? Like why are people walking into our store?
You're dreaming too big again. This marketability. I'm not trying to market us. I'm just trying
Marketing is a whole major. It's an entire concept of business.
Then guess what? I've completely revoked what I said about you being experienced here. I don't care about what you know in your degree. I just want to have a building with the boys in it.
Look, how about this?
I want to be a little bit unmarketable. I want to be a little bit like, that cafe, the restaurant, the Charisma Cafe. I mean, like, that's a fine place. And then only this sort of like, then our clientele has a little secret place where even our clientele is cool. Not cool not cool societally. Like they would be a little bit outcasts, but they'd be our people.
I don't even know how we're making money here.
We're not making money, dude.
But we just got to break even. Otherwise, I'm not going into this to lose money.
We're not.
You do realize you have to make money to break even. Like people still have to. You have to make a profit on every service.
Listen to you. Of course, you have to make money to break even, but you're still just breaking even, and that's all I want.
Yeah, but I don't. How are we getting there? How are we breaking even?
This is why I don't want to do business with someone that knows business. It's so dull. It's so boring. Boys, my friends in the restaurant that we pay for, in the cafe that we pay for. I don't really care what happens
paying
from
for
there.
the meals so that we can break even? That's the only way I can see us breaking even is if we're paying for every meal.
This is where our listeners in the Australian Taxation Office need to stop listening because let's just say there's going to be some creative bookwork happening from our friend in accounting.
Yeah, and keep listening in
That'll make it
Bordertown
work.
because our boardman, because you don't worry about our taxes, so we're sweet.
And we'll be leaving the country to your spot once we get pulled up for
that's
this.
where the Riz Cafe is opening up in Boardman, Oregon.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Marketable. It's for me, the marketability is in like, it's cheesy, it's corny, it's being somewhere where the people there, us, the boys, care. And they think, hey, g'day, mate. Bloody, this thing you want, cool, blah, blah, blah. It's fun. The vibe's good. The culture's good. You feel like you're with your friends. That's the marketability. But I know it doesn't really help for expansions. Because then we'd have to hire people that are like good people that are interesting. And do you know how hard they are to come by?
Yeah, it is pretty finite, isn't it? Like I've made like one friend since fucking university.
Yeah, and you're going to try and franchise with these people? No, sorry, mate, not happening. Step 5, pull the trigger. That's right. I've gone ahead and I have siphoned some of your money, some of our other friends' money into a cafe here in Longreach. We're going to make it work. I couldn't afford tickets, so hopefully you can fly out here, but make it happen. Let's do it. Why don't we have a business? Huh? Is what we're doing so important?
Yeah, and every entrepreneur, this is obviously a bit more of a business twist, but every entrepreneur is always like, I've failed like 10 businesses before my successful one. So fuck it, man. Just have this one as one of your failed ones because you've got 9 more to go.
Listen to you, the dreamer. Fuck it, let's just fail. No.
What? You're the one that doesn't know how to make money in this whole fucking concept.
Yeah, but you seem to want to make this fail so you can chalk it up to experience.
Yeah, because I'm partnered with you.
I don't want to chalk it up to experience. I want this to work, dude. All right, it's settled. No, can't be business partners. We can't even this is the pod again. We squashed the beef at the start. The beef is
back, man. I can't.
know.
This has eroded the trust that we built up earlier in the pod. Now I'm like, can I even do a podcast with this man?
That's why you my best interest in mind. For sure.
You don't understand marketability because you don't even market this podcast on your fucking socials.
We are getting a taste of the
Full
problems we're
circle.
gonna have, dude. Okay, you're right. But let's think about it. Maybe in a few years' time, we'll grow up. Business time.
True. I think the issue right now. is
You
probably
start failing in businesses. You start failing in businesses now, and then I'll jump in when you're ready to succeed in one.
when I'm at the 10th. Yeah. And the issue right now is clearly that, you're in a different decade to me. So you're experiencing different parts to life than what I am. And that's obviously drawing a bit of a divide between us.
By the time this episode comes out, you'll be 30. So don't even try and pull that card on me. The fraudulent card. Jeez.
Now that I'm in charge of releasing episodes, it will be out before my 30th. Thank you very much.
Again, not a good sign for my business acumen for sure. But no, there's the road guide to business. I actually feel like, at least I got to suss out my business compatibility with you. Yeah, I'd still do it. Yeah, let's fail. Who cares? That's just a good story. It's a good story.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
And then we can always drive past that building and be like, used to own that cafe. And then the tax office kicked me out of it.
Yeah, we wouldn't be driving past because we wouldn't be able to afford a car. We'd be walking past.
I'd be running past. I'd be live scooter.
Now, in your 50-cent public transport, just to circle back.
Yeah. Is there any public transport in Longy?
No.
There isn't. Is there? No.
No, but funnily enough, when they announced the 50-cent public transport for TransLink stuff from Brisbane, Danny was like straight away like, the spirit of the Outback train that comes from Brisbane to Longreach. There's a chance.
Isn't
There's
it
a
like
chance,
$250?
No, more than that.
Oh.
No. I think return though, so maybe it's $250 one way. But
50 cent the other way.
yeah, from Brisbane or whatever.
Yeah, you can get to Longreach, can't afford to come back.
Yeah,
that would be a great idea to get like the homeless people outside of the city.
Oh, come on. No way, dude. No way. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Okay,
I act like I was like, I couldn't afford to get on that tram coming back.
That's right. That's when we'd have to buy one of the businesses so you can get by.
Oh, speaking of tram, so obviously, I had my phobia that sort of opened up on the platform. And I've had a lot of stories filtering in of other people in situations, and they'd be like, Doss wouldn't have run.
Doss wouldn't have run.
Yeah, like he's seen people. I had a friend message me like, I saw someone run for the tram and the door closed before they got there, and they didn't get in. And I was like, that's yeah. They understand the phobia now that they've seen it and like
vindicated, vindication for sure.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe we do a segment on like my weekly tram experience, because obviously I'm catching 2-3 trams every day, and then
those trams would be 50 cents if they were in Queensland.
Well, they're free.
Side note, we don't have trams. Oh, so, yeah. All the comments were like, public transport costs money.
Yeah. No, so if you don't tap on and you just keep your eyes out for any inspectors, you're usually pretty sweet.
Did I send you? Oh, maybe I didn't. I'll keep this short. Speaking of comedy, yeah. I watched the funniest,
Don't keep it short if it's comedy, mate. That's what this whole podcast is.
When you're explaining the joke, it's not going to be funny. So, look, link in bio to this story about public transport in Melbourne. It's the 4 stages of like public transport. It's this Japanese comedian who's been doing work in Australia for years. It was probably at the Melbourne Comedy Fest, and he was just going through like from worst to best the experiences you can have on public on trams, and like the worst. I can't go into it. Watch it. It's I watched him funny. It is live. So funny.
Yeah. So
his comedy has got me every time. It's different. It's different.
Yeah. It was like the week he came. It was like the start of the year. It was the week he came before the comedy festival, and like there's comedy lounges where they just come out and test new material.
Yeah.
And that's what he was testing. And I was like, this is sick. Like,
was he testing the tram material?
Yeah, he pulled it out, and I was like, that's pretty good. Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like it's
hell yeah. It's so true.
All this content is it's probably more true than it is funny. But the fact that he's delivering it, like the fact that he thought like, oh, this is my comedy set, it makes it really, really funny.
Yeah. And I had it the other day where I tapped on. So I tap on like once a week just to keep sort of the thing ticking over. So there's evidence that I actually do tap on. And it's and then when I get off, inspectors are coming on. And I was like, someone ask me, please. Yeah. I should have just went up to one of them and be like, oh, check me.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you said that was the worst feeling. No, maybe getting fined was the worst feeling. Again, this is why we
this is
butchered
the second worst one.
So funny though, so funny. Very observational. It was good stuff.
Yeah. Well, I did have a funny experience with my so I was walking home and I see the trams coming, but there's always traffic on this road. So I was like, I think I can get to the next stop before the tram gets there. So I'll never wait at a stop either. Like if it's just like a 5-minute wait, I'll just walk up to the next stop or the one further. I don't understand that element of my life, but it's the way you're getting steps in instead of just standing there, I guess.
Oh, you're progressing?
Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of wholesome. I like that for you.
Yeah. But you run the gauntlet of tram coming and you're not going to get to the station in time. And then you miss it, then it's 15 minutes. Yeah. So there was this one and I was walking and I turned around and I was like, fuck, that tram has come out of nowhere. And I'm in between two stops now. And I'm like, shit, am I going to make it? And I'm like, I think I am. Like the traffic's built up. There's lights. I think I'll get there. And sure enough, this chick next to me runs past me, sort of like bumps into me a little bit and just starts running forward. I'm like,
that's your meet cute.
She's
What's her
gone.
name?
Meet cute. Oh man, I got ick with this chick. She's
no,
wait.
She's
Hear
running
me
for
out.
the tram.
Yeah, she's running for the tram. And I'm like, I think I'm going to make it as well. And we get there and we get to the stop and there's enough time for me to stop, look at her, judge her, and then walk and get on the tram. I was like, that is how you do it. Never run for public transport.
Yeah. See, old mate comedian's bit was about like worst feelings on public transport. I feel like that's an example of like worst to best feelings of getting to public transport.
Yeah.
She had a bad feeling because she got there, but the bloke that walked there also got there and judged her. So it's like, it's worse.
For sure. Yeah. She had to run. Oh, no, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Yuck. No, I couldn't imagine it. Look, Dos, big call. I've got places to be, so I don't know if we're going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I think we sneak it off this week. We're already this is like a really long pod.
I want to keep this one short, and maybe I'll talk about it another time, but I do want to talk about my fishing experience at some stage.
I'm curious why you spelt it like that. Because I know I'm just
you,
but I
you
actually picked up on that.
You are a Luddite, man. A Luddite. And you're like, what's a Luddite? Look,
Yeah,
you're someone that...
thinking that.
It just gets deeper and worse. I just can't believe it. I couldn't do business with you. I couldn't. We would be getting fished and scammed and hacked. I'm talking about fishing with PH. And Dos is like, oh, do you think he's cool? Fat, like fishing, like, PH
Yeah,
fat?
I know, like
No,
fat
mate.
ass, PH
No.
fat ass. yeah, boy stuff, boy.
And the Charisma Cafe just erupted in applause and laughter when I said that. It was
And
so
then it
epic.
turned into a stripper joint. The tables turned into poles somehow.
Oh, this espresso machine is pouring beer. This is awesome. Or espresso martini, maybe. Anyway,
Yeah.
no,
Oh.
fishing at the PH.
Oh, sorry.
What?
I had a really good idea. Oh, wait. Of like a pub, instead of beer taps, they had like fuel guns. Just like put the fuel in people's drinks. That'd be cool. And call it a gas station.
That's cool.
Anyway.
Hold
I'm
up. Is this being done? This must be. That sounds like something that's being done.
No, I don't think it has. I've never been to one. I know there's that.
Dude, the gas station or the fuel station?
Well, it'd be the gas.
I feel like fuel is a little bit. I mean, gas is cool.
Or
It sounds
call it the
cooler.
servo.
Oh, dude.
So how did we miss that?
Dude, we spent the whole road guide not agreeing on an idea, and we've just.
I know,
You know, forget
That's how we
fishing.
do it.
Let's end this. Let's squash the beef. We're back. We're on
back.
the same page.
We're in a
The
healthy
servo.
business relationship now.
The servo. I love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. Well, I reckon we wrap it up on that. I'm happy to leave on a positive note. Oh, he's got a question.
No, I think that the way we should wrap it up, as a shout out to the listeners of Boardman, the Oregon Ducks, we should quack it out to the end.
Wait,
No,
everyone else,
I don't-
stop listening. Get off it. You don't deserve this. This is for the Boardman crew.
Also, this, we don't want this to ever reappear on our digital profile that we
I
did this.
really want to
but,
edit this. I already know I want to edit this.
you should just cut it right as I suggested. So it's just like
Yeah.
ends before we go. 1, 2, 3. Whack, 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 whack. They love it. They love us in Oregon.
They love us.
in
They love
Oregon.
us. All right.